Hey, I'm Christopher Cooper, your old home doctor, and welcome to Beaupre. What are we going to do today? Well, for our very first episode, we're going to talk about grass. Dude. You know, talking about grass ad nauseum is probably not one of my favorite subjects, probably not one of your favorite subjects. But we've been battling grass here at Beaupre since we bought this place. Let's do a little backtrack here. We've owned this property since 2008 in rural Nova Scotia. Why do we call it Beaupre? Well, it's called Beaupre because this is what the place name was during the Acadian period. And a matter of fact, through science and dendrochronology, we found out, of 3 beams that were found in the basement, or floor joists found in the basement, were sent for dendrochronology, had core samples taken and sent for dendrochronology, and it came back for the 3 of them, 1714. So certainly the house, when you're looking at it, the house is definitely Greek Revival. It was built in 1878, but the foundations are Acadian. So we did some digging and we found a map that had this area on it, including the house marked on it, as well as a mill, and we'll get into that point. But you know what, here we are, and we want to bring to you the entire restoration and preservation of this little house. So I've been restoring houses, restoring buildings all around the world. So what I want to try to do, and certainly to help you as you move along with your house, is give some guidance, give this, and show you that, with these hands, I'm a hands-on restoration architect. And what does that mean? It means that it's not been my nose in a book. It's been using these hands-on, that I've been restoring this stuff myself for 43 years. From large cathedrals, castles, to the humble domestic abode as Beaupre is. So we'll get into the whole history, heritage. I won't bore you to death with that. The idea is you're going to watch the evolution of this house, going from a horribly tortured, horribly modernized home built in 1878, as I said, and got the wind kicking up. And we're going to show you step by step how I'll restore this. But here's the fun part. It's all about education. It's all about these two things. So what I'm going to try to show you is we're going to try to source things. We're going to try to find reclaimed material, reclaimed architectural salvage, and try to do this entire building on a near zero budget. Okay. And what will be done with that zero budget is that we will find the materials, good quality, first growth lumber, and recreate this house back to its 1878 glory. So stay tuned, folks, because this episode is rather boring. It's about grass. Dude. You know, as I said, we've owned this house since 2008, and after, you know, talking to people on that, we've come to find out that it was abandoned for 3 or 4 years prior to that. So we have literally only spent 6 summers here, and you know, we've tried to do the best we can and try to, you know, do things, but it's always been limited. So now we're here to try a winter, and you're going to see the trials and tribulations of that. But we hadn't been back in 9 years, and last year we came for the summer. We stayed extra long. We stayed into November, and you know, we saw Fiona come and go, but we stuck it out. We didn't see Fiona. Sadly, a lot of the province did. But the thing we've always fought since 2008 is the damn grass. And I will tell you, when we came back last year, the grass was as high as an elephant's eye. Let me tell you, it was just, the driveway was completely impassable with thorny locust. I said thorny. Locust and wild rose. So it was just a battle getting up the driveway. And I'll tell you, wow, it was just a mess. Well, this is what's greeted us in basically 10 years. To be exact, it's probably about 9 years, but about 10 years. This is the front driveway area of the house. And certainly if we like raspberries, which of course I do, it would be grand. But as you see, I don't think it's a good idea to have all of this. So the trusty scythe, she layeth here, and we'll take a look at the side yard here. This is where the lovely cows usually reside. But as we see, the side yard completely impassable. And we'll walk over to here. And as we see, this side, which is our only really real yard, although gorgeous with daylilies or tiger lilies, as you see, completely impassable, probably about the same 3-4 foot high weeds everywhere. So I guess Chris is going to get to work. Well, what we decided to do, because last year we had very limited space. Okay, we had dogs, we had cats, we had my 2 kids, the wife, a car top carrier, and that was it, the back of a small SUV. So the only thing that I could think of to help us battle the grass was an Austrian scythe. And that Austrian scythe, beautiful thing. Purchased it from Lee Valley, and I think it cost about $200. And we we zip tied the handle portion to the roof rack of the car. And we got down here, and I'll tell you, Nina, what a trooper. She literally spent days down there until we then got the huge realization that 2 older people, I'll call her older people, I'll call me an old man, just aren't suited for a scythe, even a beautiful Austrian scythe. It's definitely work for a younger man, younger woman. So You know what? But this year we're going to tackle it head on. So here's what we did. This time we brought a gas-powered weed whacker. That doesn't work. And we brought a new 40-volt battery-operated weed whacker, and I'll tell you, that worked very well. So while Nina, my wife, plodded ahead using the weed whacker, cutting off the tops, cutting in the middle, cutting down below of this tall grass, I came up from behind her with my redneck bush hog. Why is it a redneck bush hog, you say? Because we wanted to rent a bush hog. And I've actually got the name here. It was called the Amazing Little Wonder Hydro Brush Cutter, or a bush hog to you and I. So we reserved it at the local rental. Called them up the morning that we were going to pick it up, and they had the sad news to tell me that some other city slicker got a hold of her and rented her, ran the oil dry, and blew the engine. So that was the end of that. So I had to make my own improvised RBH. Why, that's a redneck bush hog. This is what I decided to do. I decided to get this old lawnmower that we had here, sharpen the blade, raise lower the wheels, put some high octane gas in it, clean it up, and that's how we got the grass down. You know, it's kind of interesting after you put in this entire blood, sweat, and tears with your redneck bush hog. And of course, your wife is doing most of the work. But you know, and even heck, we even employed our 83-year-old or my 83-year-old father-in-law, who's here for a visit, to stack up the hay. Well, he wanted to rake up the hay, and created these lovely Monet-esque hay stacks. So you know what, at the end of the day, it was well worth it, and you know, we're hopefully here for the duration. Now remember, folks, it's all about education. Take care of these handcrafted, wondrous expressions of architectural folk art, as we're merely caretakers. And if you ever desire to be part of the next generation of craftspeople, find your calling at the Edifice Atelier. Until next time, folks, cheers.